What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you all joining me in today's video. We got the 2018 F-150 on deck, and if you could read in today's title, we're doing a little interior revamping. Now, I don't know about you guys out there, but how many times have you had a girl come in your truck and as soon as she sees that tiny little thing, she starts laughing? Here is the unit out of box, guys. This is the IDOING 12.1 inch Apple CarPlay and Android Auto features. This has GPS, it's also Bluetooth. Everything is plug and play on this. We'll get to all the wiring and harnesses, but look how massive that screen is, boys. Now, when ordering this, you do need to figure out your configuration. My truck, as you all know, is the Fleet Basic XL truck, which means manual controls, tiny little LCD screen. So when you're ordering this, you want to plug in all that information. Higher models have the automatic climate control and have heated seats and all these functions. So all that needs to be configured before you order your IDOING head unit. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the wiring that they offer us. Here's IDOING card. They give us a couple of prying tools. This is a microphone, but you don't have to use their external microphone. You could use the existing one in the vehicle. This looks to be like the GPS signal. If you want to have GPS on the head unit, you can have that, but obviously if you're going to use CarPlay, it's not really necessary. So those are just some of the things you have to keep an eye out for. Looks like these look to be some adapters, so we might use that. Looks like another external microphone. This is a USB dongle. Another one could also be a 4G antenna, maybe. We'll take a look at all that. I'll try to identify a lot of this stuff here. Looks to be another product manual. You don't get that too often. Put the same head unit, IDOING, on my 2013 ST. I absolutely love it. Revolutionized the interior on the car, and it just looks so much more cleaner. So there you have it. We're going to go ahead and go through the wiring here, but first let's go ahead and start taking apart the interior on the F-150. We need to pop this bit up. It's 3 clips. Once you have that, you will expose 2 8mm bolts. You're gonna remove those 2, and that should be able to pop off the faceplate. So 7mm, I lied. Oh, dang. Woo! Bit of force there. There we go. Radio bezel has been removed. Got 1, 2 plugs up here. Got a big one over here, and then last one on the side. We've successfully removed the radio bezel. That was 4 plugs. Then we got to the LCD screen here. We had 1 big harness plug over here and 1 more on the side. This guy over here. This one assembled in Mexico. This one was also plugged into, I believe, this bit right over here. Looks like this way. And then this one was plugged in on itself. Next up, we'll go ahead and remove the CD player down here. Should be 4 of these 7mm bolts. I should take our CD player. It's supposed to come out. Oh, there we go. A little force. We'll get her out and expose 3 more plugs here. That's 1, 3. There we go. CD player is out and dusty. Dog hair. What is assembled in Mexico too? Oh no, this one's China. I went ahead and grabbed our main wiring harness. Turns out this thing is this thing's the brain over here. This is our adapter. This is what's gonna plug in from our OEM harnesses up to our head unit, our aftermarket head unit. So I put in the first one. It's the one that was behind the LCD screen. That goes through here. Then we have 2 other big ones down here. The good thing about this, guys, is that well, everything kind of has its own place. Everything fits where it's supposed to fit. Otherwise, it won't even work. So this is one of them. Found another one. That's probably the climate control. We have another big one here. I'm gonna assume that's probably this guy over here. We got 2 more big ones over here. This one from the harness itself that they gave us is probably what's gonna plug into the head unit. This is probably the backup camera, and then we have these two here. Let me go. It might just plug directly to the head unit. All right, guys. So here's the factory head unit. You can tell, and here's the aftermarket one. Now, if you look up top, we have these two slots. That is where you're supposed to replace your traction control button and your emergency lights and auto stop. It's real simple. Just swapping this over. They have these two pins on the side here, and you kind of just squeeze them together and there you go. Just push it right out. The last thing too, when you have swap over, are these little orange clips. These are going to go literally in the same spot on the aftermarket one, so we'll pop those out without snapping it. 1, 2. For that one. There we go. Well, that was definitely a tree that fell over. I'm afraid to go out there, but I hear a car alarm honking. I think a tree just fell on a car. See, we are surrounded by trees, and anyone could fall on top of the garage. Maybe this is the universe telling me I should leave my head unit alone. This thing, make sure it's upright. You know, you don't want it upside down. Slap that in there. Push in, there you go. Now if you have the additional button on your factory one, then you could pop this one out, but we don't, so we're gonna leave it as is. We're gonna go ahead and throw on these little plastic clips on. 6, 7, and there you go. We've transferred everything we needed from the factory. I did plug in the GPS. I'm gonna use the GPS. I'm still unsure a little bit about these. I know I wanna use a USB dongle, so maybe we'll slip one in there. I'm assuming this thing goes, maybe it's this way. There we go. This is for something else, but I do want the USB dongle. I guess that's that, because there's no other 4-pin connector there. The beauty of having a jump seat. Just lift up that middle seat part. This is going to be the sensitive piece now. But let's plug these in here first. So we got one up here. Damn, I got to get this thing up close. All right, so one is going there. So here's the camera. This is from that wiring harness that will plug into this. There we go. Camera's in. Dongle. This looks like it connects there. Looks like that connects there. This one's the other climate control, goes into the big spot. Here's one piece that came with the aftermarket head unit. It connects to this thing. This one was, I believe, attached to the screen. This plugs into the antenna. Okay, so it plugs in perfectly. What we connected here right now from the LCD screen, it connects here into the antenna bit. Push down, there we go. It's got like a little USB at the bottom. This too was attached to the LCD screen. So let me just move around a little bit here. And ideally this is more used for if you have an upgraded stereo system. It's got them all marked, you know, video out, front, right, left. The thing is, we're gonna have to use it because it has this plug here. This is the one we need. So this is the harness that I wasn't planning on using, but because it has this plug right over here specific, I believe that is what plugs into this guy over here. We're gonna test this out right now, but this is obviously plugs into a fan. So here's where we are at. Take a good look. I think just about everything has been plugged in. I really don't want to use this stuff because it does look a little chaotic with all the wiring, but it's, I think, the only one I see that connects to the fan. This is the main harness. We have all of those being used up. The last thing that needs to be plugged in is the climate control one. It's a little bit difficult. It's not that flexible, so I'm going to put it on when the face is a lot closer to the, you know, the dash. This is it. This is the only thing I'm not sure where it goes. But we're going to test it out right now before anything gets, you know, put into place permanently, guys. But just take a look. This is where we're at. We got the antenna. Antenna has been plugged in here. We have the GPS plugged up in here. I need to find a location for the GPS here, somewhere along the dash, maybe back there. The white ones, as you guys can tell, the white plugs go into where these white inputs would go. Here's another one. This was the main harness. But yeah, guys, this is it. It's a little bit of a jumbled mess, but we do have a lot of space in there, so we'll just have to tuck it. I did end up running that USB dongle through here into the glove box right there, hopefully. And here is the tablet functioning and installed. It looks super clean, guys. It looks almost as if this is how it came out of the factory. You would never believe that this is an XL truck when you have a big touchscreen. Let's go ahead and go over the functions over this. You'll see over here at the bottom, these are your controls. These controls don't go anywhere. They are your aircon controls. Not only that, but you do also have the physical button version of them right down here. This controls how much power. And there's your AC function. You can turn it off here, or you could pick and choose where you want to blow the air, directly to you, to your feet. You could switch it around, max AC to the rear. We'll go ahead and turn it off for now. We have our radio function here. We got radio. We also have a couple of apps already pre-installed. You'll see YouTube, we have Waze, there's Google Maps in here. T-Link 5 over here is going to be your CarPlay or Android Auto. We'll look at that in a second, but we have Google Chrome here. You can connect to your phone hotspot, or you can connect to a Wi-Fi, you know, post up in front of a Panera and steal some Wi-Fi from them. So you can hear the fan if I'm quiet for 1 second here. You can hear the fan functioning, but you can always change that up here to turn it on at certain temperatures, or you could have it always off. You know, you have the volume up, you're not going to hear it. It's no big deal, but it's nice to have it. This nav button over here is going to be connected and associated with that GPS antenna we put on. Let's go ahead and talk about pairing your phone wirelessly to your Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. There's two ways to go about it. One way is the first app I showed you, which is T-Link 5, right over here. This will connect automatically to your phone, and there we have our Spotify music, we have a weather widget, and our GPS. This is beautiful because I never had this option in any of my cars, so this is very nice. I like this. This is one way. The second way is connecting your phone via Bluetooth, and we have our Bluetooth app right over here. This right here on the side is our menu. We have our keypad function over here to make calls. We have our missed calls and outgoing calls. But those are the two ways to pair your phone to your head unit. Now, if I scroll this bit down, we'll see we have our brightness setting right over here. Go all the way to 10. We have our volume setting all over here. But if you look right down here, guys, we have a reset button. Now, if you notice that the tablet is running a little bit on the slow side, well, there's a few different ways to go about it. One is this button right up here in this corner. You push this and you have these windows. These are previous apps you've used, and that some of these apps are still running, so you might want to just slide them and close them, or you can hit the X right at the top right corner. The other way is doing a reset, which is this button right up here, and if that doesn't work, there is a hard reset, tiny little pinhole right down here where you stick a needle or a paper clip or something to do a hole. But I've had this head unit on for about 2-3 weeks now, and I have not run into one issue so far with this. Go ahead and switch to the settings here. So here's our network. We have our Wi-Fi networks. You're able to connect, you know, post up at your McDonald's, steal some Wi-Fi. Mobile data, this thing does take a SIM card, so you could just run it off of that if you wish. Before, I did end up using all of the harnesses, except I think 1 or 2 of them that the truck didn't need, but we ran most of them. That stuff is all pretty self-explanatory. You'll see the pins, you'll count them, it'll make sense to what it plugs into. We'll go back to this. Display, we have our brightness settings, brightness mode, auto, font size, dark themes. You could switch around the themes on this thing. We have our sound, app permission, memory, start navigation, car battery level. That's up there, 14.2 volts. And we have our phone battery level. We're about 50-40%. Now this right here is to go ahead and program your steering wheel functions. Now I didn't have to do any of that stuff because it's already functioning. Push the volume up, volume down, and it works. And if I hit the menu button over here, it'll cycle through the different options: radio, Bluetooth, CarPlay, navigation. It'll cycle through all that, but you can obviously change that up here, guys, so it can all be reprogrammed to your likings, which is really nice. The next thing I want to talk about is the reverse, guys. This truck is equipped with a reverse camera, and there are a bunch of different settings over here too. Reversing radar, reversing trajectory. What if we just turn them all on? Up and down mirror image, left and right mirror image. I'm not sure, but we'll go ahead and switch it into reverse gear. And look at that, folks. Normally you wouldn't have this. I think I'm running some sort of interference with some auxiliary lights that I'm running, so I think it's kind of causing it to shake a little bit. But I don't have the sensors, front or rear sensors, so I could turn that off. But you do have your settings over here: brightness, contrast, saturation. We'll go to camera, and you want to make sure your camera setting is on NTSC, otherwise it might be under a PAL, and that's what it's going to look like. and you don't want that. That's no good. So we'll go ahead and switch that back to, what if we did auto? Nope. We'll go to NTSC, and there you go. It's much better. Unfortunately, there is a little bit of signal interference going on, I think, with my lights, and I could turn off all this stuff. We definitely don't need any of that stuff. So, guys, this thing is highly customizable. It's really nice. It's going to be tons of fun having this thing on long drives or road trips or whatever, which I do with this truck all the time. But check it out. 12.1 inch screen, made for 2015s to 2021 F-150s. Guys, check them out at f1truckmods.com. If you have any questions, leave them down below, guys. I'm happy to help you out, and I'm super happy with how this came out, guys. It looks super clean. It looks like it belongs on the truck, and it just completely revamped the interior, guys. You guys saw the interior on this thing. It was a tiny little screen, and now we have a giant, almost Tesla looking screen, guys. Highly recommend you pick up an IDOING head unit for your F-150, guys. Change it up. We still have sync in this thing, even though we don't use it. Really changes up the interior of the truck, guys. Highly recommend it. Check them out at f1truckmods.com. I'll leave a link down below.